The PGL Major in Krakow is coming to a close for day number 3. Still got one more map though, so more Counter-Strike on the way. Map 3 between Big and Immortals, the only quarterfinal that's gone all the distance today. So we're going to get back into that very shortly, get into the map vetoes. Unfortunately, we've got some bad news from the crowd's point of view. We have had to let them go due to Polish law. It is quite late here, so we had to let them go home. So they're going to miss that one, unfortunately. You guys at home though, you can enjoy it with us, and we can go through map 3 very shortly as we get into the vetoes. We've got Natu and Moses back. We're heading off to train now.
Yeah.
It's anyone's game, but is it anyone's game? Do you feel like maybe the veto now has swung the other way again?
No, I think so. The big strength that Immortals is going to be bringing up into this next one, in my opinion, is the fact that their opping has been on point in all 3 maps, despite the loss on Cobble. You know, KNG has looked excellent. Henny has had some very good impact on Inferno.
And they love this double AWP setup.
Yes, they're gonna thrive in that a little bit. It's obviously one of the big questions when they brought KNG in was how do you reconcile having Henny as your main operator and a guy who's also another stellar operator. KNG is also very proficient with the rifles though, so at times you'll see he'll be fine with the rifles, but. Obviously, having 2 operators is always a nice little bonus to have it to switch into a different defense.
Especially when you've got a man in form, because KNG's been the best player in the last 2
he's been a beast, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it also helps that Immortals likes to be very dynamic on this map as well, as we saw on Inferno too. You know, they push Ivy, they utilize the spawns really well. If Henny has the spawn, he'll go and take that duel from upper ramp. They'll send people on Ivy, and then also they'll let on other parts of a half, they'll still let your opposition to execute. But when you have their double ops, and they're pretty good at just making sure they have the manpower to go through the struggle of having to live the GOB executes.
Yes. Well, I mean, apart from the GOB executes, what is the critical part for Big here? What do they need to make sure they get doing early?
They need T-side rounds. I'm gonna just be frank. They don't have many of them in this series so far. I think they actually only have 6, if I'm correct.
Not too many.
Right around there. But either way, even if you're not, you could see on Inferno they had that little bit of a struggle early on in their TF where they kept buying into it and kept trying to keep the economy low because they'd gotten so many kills that they felt they always had the economy at the breaking point. I don't know if you're gonna want to challenge it as much on train in that situation early on, but you do want to keep your opponent's economy low, especially for a team that likes the AWPs. That's a big win early on if they can either get the pistol round or just get those 3 to 4 kills every single round. Make sure if they're going to keep investing in ops that Immortals is always going to be on a breaking point with their economy, because on a map like Train, all you need is 1 economy break and you can get up towards 4 or 5 rounds. So then after that, it's like you've already put together a pretty decent half, all things considered.
Yeah, on the contrary, on the city side, Big really needs to be ready to have some duels, because Immortals might be a team where they'll spend like a minute just kind of waiting to get an opening from T-Main, and eventually they'll end up going in a 1-3-1 setup, 1 IV, 3 mid, and 1 pop. Not even like executing any smokes necessarily. They'll throw a Molotov to the bomb side, they'll throw 1 flash, and they'll get on top of 6 train that'll push you towards quad, then the bomb train, and try to like sandwich you on that bomb side. So that's where you need to be ready when you're Big. Just take the early duels and then not try to have the man advantage.
They also need Tapson.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that boy, because he was the highest rated player left in the tournament on HLTV. And we haven't really seen him so far, and that's odd, because you do usually, like, he's been renowned over the last couple of months of just showing up every game. This
is one of the rare occurrences where we see him have an off game. That was also one of the big promises around him, was that like he was always delivering that kind of star level performance. He was pretty consistent in it, and he's gotten lucky. It would be much worse, obviously, if they had lost that first map, but because if Legia is the one that stepped up in his absence, which doesn't happen frequently because it wasn't any of the other guys either. So he's gotten very fortunate that his bad performance is being overshadowed by how good that Legia has been in this series, but they absolutely need him on this 3rd map. This is where that player that you have, that you've relied on to get here, that's when he carries you through this stretch. You guys have brought him this far. It's his job to pull you over the line.
You've both had moments in your careers where you've had a rough start to a series. Maybe the first map didn't go so well, and then that's playing in your head in the second game, and your team scrapes through, and it's 1-1. You go into how do you reset? How do you get out of the mindset of, God, I'm having a terrible series, to focusing on, it's 1 map, I've got to focus on it?
At least for me, it was always pretty easy to isolate the maps into, their own entities. But, in the end of the day, it didn't really matter. If I had a rough map, then you go into the next one not thinking about it. Obviously, it helps if you have a great start. That's a good thing. If you have, let's say you have a couple of kills in the pistol round, get some cheeky anti-eco frags. It always pumps your confidence and gives you that extra little bit.
The important thing to remember is that one of the beautiful parts about this game, and one of the reasons we love it, is that there's so many different ways to have impact and help your team win a match, even if you're not putting up the big numbers. Even if you're not having the highlight plays, it's winning, you know, the one clutch you're put into. It's getting that one kill that opens up the bomb site, and I think that's what you focus on if you have a bad start to a match or even a series, is you just say, there's going to be an opportunity during this game for me to turn the tides of a round, and I need to make sure that I'm stepping up, and even if it's just the one kill, even if it's just the, you know, the second kill, even if it's just trading, I need to make sure I'm ready to do that.
Yeah, we've had 4 knife kills in this match so far.
It's not bad,
which is a record at a major.
I was going to say,
any more BM going to come out in the second?
Absolutely, I hope so. I hope so.
It's becoming pretty personal by now.
It has got. I was going to ask you about, because it does feel a little bit personal. There was a knife kill on that second map. Immortals kind of good. It was a bit like, almost screw you. Like, we could do the same thing.
It always gets personal when the knives come out, doesn't it?
But it feels bad when you get knifed in the game. So it's kind of like,
especially on a stage, especially at the majors.
It's embarrassing.
Oh yeah,
and insult right there.
Yeah.
I'd even be happy with, like, you know, having, you know, KNG just open up the door to the booth, walk over to the other side of the stage, just get right up in there.
Give him the finger in the other booth.
But yeah, let's step things up a little bit.
At the end of the day, you know, the one way to ridicule your opponent is just, you know, crush them on this map. That's the one thing that really matters. You know, it's the semifinals you're playing for, so in the big picture.
Do you feel like Immortals had, you know, paraphrasing here, but the knife to the throat in that last game, 15-2, should have shut the door and said 16-2, done and dusted. You guys have been sat. Just letting them come back in it a little bit more. Do you feel like maybe they let something go there, or do you feel like they will just carry the momentum into train?
It is just the way it is. You know, it's human nature, really. I mean, you're so close to winning it. You've had a pretty easy way through that map. You kind of, you know, take the gas pedal off for a little bit, right? And that easily happens. On the contrary, for a big, you know, I think it's even better just to get stomped in the map instead of, you know, if they would have really made it back to, like, say, 16 or 13-16, it's got like kind of a scoreline. That's a bit of a bummer, isn't it?
So, well, like exactly what we saw in Kabul, right? If they dropped the ball at the end of that comeback.
Yeah. So yeah, it could have been, you know, really, really rough for them. So I think that's just for both sides, doesn't really matter.
Were you the style of players that when you were down like that, when you were 15-2, 15-1, whatever it was, were you just like, in your mind, were you just like, oh, God, okay, let's just get this map over with. Just forget it now. Just put it out of our mind. Because Big never seemed to be that kind of team. They've been down a few times, I've noticed, on line matches and previously in the qualifiers, and they'd never give up.
It is a very weird thing, because I think pretty much every player and former player and analyst will always mention it's harder to bounce back from the close losses, especially if you have to make some kind of a comeback. But as a player, you don't think of that. Like, if you're down like 13-2 at half, it's not like, all right, guys, let's just phone in the pistol round.
Yeah.
Get on to the next one. And you never think like that. You're always thinking comeback. But I mean, it is just something you always notice after the fact. But as a player, especially in a major and a stage, you don't give up a single round.
Yeah, ever. I mean, because it is very mental, isn't it? You're sort of thinking, but if they can do 13-2, then we can do 13-2. We're no worse than them.
Yeah, especially with the way the economy works. I mean, it's a little bit more brutal, I feel, in this game than it was even in previous versions of Counter-Strike in some ways, where you're so reliant on it that like one economy break at the right moment and you can be right back in the game. It's amazing how quick the score lines can come together, especially with the power of pistols, being able to win an eco round. Like, every round is doable now. Yeah. You know, you can win every single one. Yeah. So there's definitely got to be that mentality of don't give up.
Yeah, and the pistols have been critical throughout many of the matches at the major so far.
Yeah, I mean, if we go down the memory lane, remember the Tech 9 major?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to do that.
The Tech 9 major, I like that. I don't think anyone's called that.
Yeah, I mean, all of my
Did we have the CZ minor as well at one point?
We did. Yeah. We've had some pistol minor, pistol majors down it. But yeah, they do. I kind of like that dynamic in the game, though. It keeps you on your toes. Make sure it's kind of another layer from a tactical perspective where you have to respect the pistols, in my opinion.
Well, and we saw even on Kabul, like, one more way for the tacticians and the strategic and game leaders like Gabi to find ways to help their team, win the match, win rounds. That second round that he had, that tactic that he busted out on Kabul was so very cool. And it's a great thing to be able to win some of those rounds, especially if you are using the tactics, because then it just gives you a higher chance. It's not just, get a 1D, get a headshot somewhere, and then you just kind of win that round. This is like you actually have a systematic thought process that helps you win it. So yeah.
I think probably the most creative one we've seen so far is double AWP 3 pistols.
That was quite cool. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah, were you on board with that?
No.
I mean, because you look at it and just go, what a waste of money.
Not everything needs to make sense. Remember, logic doesn't apply to anything anymore.
I mean, I would have...
Do you hate facts?
If it works, fair play, and obviously you can make that kind of a buy work. I probably would have, as an in-game leader, would have never looked at my money and been like, let's do this. This is the one. Unless it's like literally like you absolutely have to make something happen.
The only thing you got left in the bag, yeah. All right, thanks, gents. We are ready for game number 3, so let's head back to our commentators, Sadakist and Henry G.
Thank you very much. Yes, a little quiet, a little more private out here, a little more intimate with this game as we're going to get into map number 3. Big Immortals, and Immortals, I have to say, have been the more complete team throughout the course of the series.
I think so.
Overtime on Cobblestone was a comeback from Big, but they have lacked on their T. Both teams have, but specifically to mention it with Big, they have lacked on their T sides, which is something they've been incredible at throughout the course of the event until now.
Yeah, this is looking slightly worrisome, if I have to say, for Big now. Going into this map pool, the first 2 maps I said, yeah, Big can do this 2-0, absolutely. With Cobblestone and Inferno there, I think they're going to do it. But now we go on to Train. This double orb setup of Immortals coming through, and Henny finding some form as well. KNG looking the way he does. I feel like they get this. They start on CT side as well, I believe. So going into this one, if they get rolling here, they get that pistol once again, get the 3-0, and manage to get the double orbs out nice and early. I feel like Big are going to struggle here. The T sides especially have been uninspired. It looks like they've maybe some sort of mind games going on. They feel like they know, the Immortals seem to know what they're doing and how to shut it down. Is that the problem for them? They can't really get into this one. I haven't really seen much in terms of the clutches either. It's all just been a one-sided affair. Did very good on the CT half, but that 13-2 first and Inferno, it's difficult to bounce back from that, especially that pistol blunder.
Yeah, that is the thing. There was a real chance that they could have bounced back.
Yeah.
But that was mandatory, and they failed to achieve it. We're going to get underway on Train. Immortals starting CT side, Big starting T. They've started T in all 3 maps. They chose to do so on Cobblestone. Obviously, therefore, Immortals chose to start CT on Inferno. This one, I believe, was knifed. But either way, it's TTT for Big, which has been all of their issues.
Well, 3 sets of armor coming in, Molotovs and smokes as well. Most teams favor the inside area. We'll see if that rings true here in the 3rd and final map. Whoever wins this one is indeed going to the semi-finals. That sadly does go home.
Never seen so many decoys spread out so vastly across the map.
That's true, there's 4 of them out there.
It was more than that. There was, I think, 6 at one point. 2 below Heaven, 1 at E-Box, 1 at the backtracks, and 1 at B. I guess that's 5. But who's counting?
I don't know.
Were you counting?
You are.
Okay.
I
don't know how to count. Tabson, meanwhile, wants to go in toward upper. Henny is just below on the ladder. Over the ladder, if you will. At the spools. The spools, by which he goes undetected, is able to pop out, take down 2, including the bomb. Tabson gets the shot to bolts, but KNG responds. Immortals looking to start off this map just like they did the last 2. The early pistol win. Kiev will do what he can against 4, wrapping in, shot down. Henny gets the kill, gets the win for Immortals, and without the crowd here, they don't care. They're still going to get aggressive as he yells across the booths.
Yeah, the mind games have been real. It's been really exciting for me to actually see that. Being able to see your opponents, to stand up and watch them try and avoid eye contact with you when you're celebrating like that can be quite a satisfying thing to do. Immortals definitely getting stuck in. It's nice to see it. It reminds me of my playing days, and he didn't have any boosts, so they just literally sat opposite each other. And that's what Counter-Strike's really about. I actually think it's a nice addition. Number 2. And Deagles, forced by head generally from Big. 80-50s Deagles. 1 smoke, flashbang. Bomb in the previous round. Immortals completely ran away with that one. Looking like a better unit overall. And I have to agree with you on that one. And Keith gets set shot to the corner of the wall there. As a pop dog, he'll be trying to bounce back though. See if he can get the 1 dig. Apparently cannot. Steal and Bots chime in first for the first 2 frags.
By the way, Big losing on the last map means Gambit is the only remaining undefeated team in the event. No team has ever won a major undefeated.
Yes, that's
in
true.
any case. Virtus Pro denied SK doing so on 2 separate occasions, both in Columbus and at the E-League major. Tabson, meanwhile, with bomb, last alive in this particular round for Big. Not really any chance they had with the pistols. He does have armor at a Deagle, but they've got guns plenty, and the guns will find the kills. Henny gets his 4th kill overall, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 5th at this point.
Looking very comfortable there. No plan once again, I have to say. It's 2-0, and that double orb setup ever looming. You feel like Immortals are the favourites going into this one, especially with the form Henny was showing on Inferno. M4A4s, some SMGs as well, steal the FAMAS. Not really much they can do about the situation. Let's upgrade a few more of those pistols. Certainly can't force into the round. Objective purely to try and get that bomb down. It's very unlikely Keith can do anything with that Deagle. It's interesting he buys that, considering it's the AWP as well. That's $700 for that pistol, and it's not exactly going to win you around. He invests in it, limits himself. We're going to number 3 here. Unless he finds a kill, he cannot buy the AWP. Just to note that.
Immortals already pushing toward upper. 2 quick kills on the SMG, but we've got number 5. Tapson sneaks in behind him after jumping around the stairs and walks in behind. It's KNG that gets the response on Kiev. So it's at 4 versus 2, but add it to the total, the tally.
5 knife runs in a series. I've never heard anything like it. Madness.
Who brings a gun to a knife fight?
Well, exactly. Only 1 frag. That's with the knife, apparently. We did say Kiev had to find a frag to get the AWP. That did not happen. The bomb did not go down either. But Tapson, with the knife kill, $1,500, he can now drop the AWP. That's an option. So that actually helped them out quite tremendously, I have to say. And he can drop an AWP and buy himself armor. He dropped an AK-47. Doesn't opt for it, though. 4 AK-47s. The gear down to the UMP. It's Tapson who completely dropped off in Inferno map. He's supposed to be the superstar of this team. One of the upcoming talents we have. In terms of mechanical skill, he's up there at the very best and just completely disappeared on Inferno, but he can arrive now. There's still plenty of time. Going to the first gun round here. The AWP's on the back of Henny, looking towards lower ramp right now. He's basing bolts towards upper as well. We know Big are a tactical team and love the executes, but haven't been winning any clutches. The bombs been going down, just can't convert those into victories.
Bolts at perfect position in the crossfire, and Henny not at the corner. It's down below the ramp. Boost Steel all the way on top of the train. That will be a perfect position to deny plants inside of smoke. Not that there is any down just yet. There are 3 available for Big. So they could go for a smoke execution. More difficult to get as aggressive as they did on Inferno to get in their face on this map. So rather than doing so, they anticipate what the play will be and position accordingly.
Time ticking away. Still with 4 smokes and Molotovs aplenty. Final commitment comes in, that bomb needs to go down. If it does not, they're going to struggle here. Must have been a misthrown smoke as the final commitment comes in. It's still in a perfect position here.
There you go. He's still there. He's still on high. He can't move too soon because they'll search him in turn, which Next does. So he does not deny the plants straight away as KNG goes back in from the back tracks. He might get caught by Henny, who misses a clean and wide open shot that gives Tabs in the kill on KNG. Lucas turns to try and make up for his brother's amends, but it's all of a sudden Kiev that gets the kill onto him, and round over. Immortals back off. We go 3-1. Big in the first gun round, able to pick it up quite cleanly. I shouldn't say too cleanly. They're 5 alive, but only just.
Yeah, still in that perfect position. When you get flashed 3 times and you're stood in the open, sure, it's a nice place to be, but I felt like when the 3rd flash comes through, you might have outstayed your welcome. And if he just dropped down and held on the bomb site, but if he had a chance to get a kill, like 0 chances. The amount of time he's getting flashed there, so it looks like a very nice idea, but nice execution generally from Big. Very slow. We did see that being a problem on Cobblestone, especially. That slow-paced gameplay. As soon as they went for the final commitment, as that bomb dropped, they just couldn't get the plant in. This time, though, they managed to negate that possibility. They're going to round number 5. Double AWP setups out, Matt. This is where things get interesting. KNG, one of the best performances I've seen from him on Cobblestone. 12-3 in the first half. 28 kills to finish things off, but can he find that form once again on Trey? Key for the AWP as well. And now we're really getting into it. Big round here.
Smokes in front of E-Box and at Sandwich. Steel won't be able to do much with it. Bolts again goes to the high ground with Henny low, so they haven't been able to get him to the corner quick enough on the AWP. KNG's AWP is very aggressive, I will say. However, Kiev was at the ready with his in return. He's gotten down Pop Dog. Steel is in a perfect position to take advantage of utility with the flashes. Brilliantly timed. He goes back up to be able to push around behind him, and Sandwich in fact runs through the flames. Still manages to get a kill. He may get more than that as he swaps to the AK. No reload required. Time in his favor as a result of it, but they're still searching. They're still trying to go above. He spotted Gombi going up. Gombi still shoots down. It's just Henny remaining.
Great attempt there by Steel, but only gets 1 kill in total. It's up to Henny now. 3 versus 1 situation. The bomb goes down. Can find this first kill, almost guaranteed it. Sees the barrel. Misses the shot somehow.
Wow.
Bit of an anti-climax, but certainly had the chance for enough. I think he thought he was guaranteed. It was a lock-in. He just looks away. I thought it was.
Straight under his armpit, I guess.
Must have been.
Might be the sweatiest armpits next to mine after that.
I'm not sure that's possible, but yes. It's getting there. Yours is something else.
Thank you.
You still smell lovely, though.
That's
Just
a
so you
lie.
know. No.
I never smell lovely.
3-2. It could actually be an eco for Immortals now. 2 rounds in a row for the big side. Looking like they're getting more comfortable. They've been struggling on these T sides. And then some. P250s and no armor. Apart from bolts, that's hella lie. As he has a Deagle and the Kevlar.
And he jumps over to blue. Wants to get closer on the P250. Finally, they go over toward B. Bolts push back. Everyone in the brown halls, with the acceptance of Kiev, who waits for a flank and then joins in. Through a Molotov down, if I'm not mistaken, but either way, toward B they go. Flash through, taps and goes wide. He's going to go long down the sidewalk. So too, in fact, Golgotha is still on the site, and no one challenging will eventually get taken down. Good shot through smoke by Lucky Luke. But Next says no. As he walks back in, he's able to swing around from yellow to the tanker and catch Steel pushing. Any flank attempts thwarted. Low HP for Kiev and Godby. Round goes to big. We tie things up at 3, and T-side's looking better on this map.
Yeah, 3 in a row after losing the pistol as well. They're starting to bounce back, it seems. The T-sides have been pretty horrendous for the big side, and now they're actually getting plenty of money to work with. Kiev, the AWP, this is great news. Got $9,000. And the double AWP setup hasn't been that deadly, I have to say. I thought that was going to be the downfall of Big going into training against Immortals and on the CT side as well. But KNG hasn't really delivered anything too special. Same story for Henny. They're both on 4 frags apiece, and the gun rounds looking quite nice. I guess if you think about it, Train is a map that certainly suits Big. You don't need that much in terms of map control. You're just pushing the cities back as much as you can, denying them information, going for a full execution. That's what they're very good at. And we go towards Pop Dog once again. It's Kiev trying to open things up. Henny's on the other side. Needs to be very careful of his commitment here.
There's many rounds already. And a T-side that Big has achieved in any opening half. They only got 5 over their 30 T-side attempts previously, just including the overtime, obviously, in the first game. Window there for Tabson to look through with the smoke down. He's trying to get boosted above it to see at least toward the trains. The tops of them, in fact. Steals close to the smoke. As it fades, he sprays in. That gives Godby the position, or at least the awareness of where it is. It sprays back with the AKK&G. Meanwhile, top blue could try and push wide and get a similar peek toward Pop Dog, but he's worried, in fact, that he will get countered off from a main, which is the right thought. He's not wrong in assuming, and he finds Keep. Now he'll swing, but that pulls the attention back. He still made it work. He made it all 3. Just barely gets taken down by Next. Bomb was planted, but for once in the post plant, Immortals have the advantage, and Bulls is adding to it by taking down the 2 remaining Big players.
Bit of a brawl around there, but the bomb does get planted for Big. The execution was decent, but it's up to KNG, who's scrapping on the front lines with his teammate Bolts as well. It's Henny who gets 1 key frag, buys some time there, and they keep 3 players alive and upgrade once again to that double AWP setup. They take the lead. It's 4-3. Big with a solid game plan here, and this was similar scenes to what we saw in Inferno. The bomb going down plenty of times, and then the clutches, the big names of Immortals stepping up. But Big is having a better half this time. 3 in a row. They're going to reset them and everything. They still have money, even if they lost this round, to reinvest. Next isn't looking too happy.
Neither was Kakafua. Kakafui? I never say his name right.
I'm not going to attempt it.
That's
I just say the coach.
The coach.
Yeah.
A couple of fists thrown. They know how much it means to them to get economic control. Something they've not had on a T-side. Kiev will certainly start by helping in this round, taking down KNG. Henny still has his op, meanwhile. And it's Z connector, so closer to the A site this time. But they can slow the pace Big because they've controlled it early.
I like that from Kiev. Great shot to open things up. Nothing the CTs can do now but sit and wait. Train's a difficult map to reclaim and map control. Your options, push towards main entrance with a flashbang, but very passive hold from Big. They're waiting for that to come in. They're welcoming it. They want you to try and react and try and get a kill as they hold up. Still in T-spawn 2 players. Legia investigating towards inside. CT's not really changing too much up. It's Bolts who's alone inside, just holding the incendiary, trying to get intel for his team. He doesn't want to fully commit, wants to try and delay the plant as long as possible. Outside execution will come in momentarily. Could go back to the inner if they wanted to from Pop Dog.
Gobby's got to get out. Somehow one of the ticks didn't hit. He must have had a small gap he found. At least the sound wasn't made. I didn't catch it. The damage was consistent. Certainly seems to not apply as he goes out and Steel finds him anyway. Bombs attempted to be planted inside of the smoke. I think it will be, and he's actually got the angle wrong. He's not quite in the back of the train where he expected, but Bolts has the kill immediately after onto Tabson, which again puts them in a favorable post plant. Look at Legia. This could be massive for Legia. He's got to start walking exactly, I was about to say, about now, because they could still hear him from Zeke and Hector. Yeah. All his teammates have to do is contain. Contain is the name of the game because Legia is going to walk in and take, well, his time. They're already on the defuse, though, so he's got to go now. Find one, looks toward the edge, sprays it down. They're still on the defuse. They've got to get off it. Oh, they let it go. 5 seconds. It was close. Legia's got a knife, but he's high. He's high, and he's not going to find it. Immortals get the defuse to find round 5.
How has that happened? Oh, Legia, it seemed like he'd done everything perfectly there. You spotted it. The flank was on point. The timing was perfect. He gets in connector, finds 2 frags, but the full defuse eludes him. Oh dear. And that's similar to scenes we saw earlier in this series as well. Everything's perfect up until that point. It's looking so good. The plant's down, equal situation. The gear's coming in, and he was looking for the 6th knife of this series. Doesn't happen though, can't find it. Full defuse comes in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, he's so close. So close and can't get the defuse.
Oh. Okay, not as upset as I thought.
Every round is starting to matter so much for Big. First time both of these teams have been legends. They both want, obviously, into the semifinal, but it's Immortals leading 5-3, map 3. Tabson this time, by the way, sits 4-7, so not anything miraculous, but he's in the mix.
We shall see. It was a decent round for Immortals, but 2 close ones means they do go down to a Bolts UMP here. He plays the anchor site towards B. Henny backing him up there. Very common position for the Orpus towards the upper ramp at the Brown Halls. So Molotov'd off. Tries to stick around for any sort of commitment from the T side, but just takes quite a lot of damage there. He goes back. Scenario side now setting up once again. They're focusing primarily towards outside. I don't think they've been towards inner at all, apart from that flank from the gear. Just trying to get that bomb down time and time again, which is working perfectly. Immortals having a rough time defending the execution. KNG though, he has been battling with the M4A4. Steel to go down first. Gobby opens things up once again.
And he's still in it for Big. Got the lead. KNG's trying to stay on the ladder. Ooh, it makes it work as well with movement to avoid the flames as he jumps backwards. He catches off next, but thankfully for him, Gobby is immediately on the scene. Bomb still planted. With the AWP watches toward it from the old bomb alley. Brown looks to go to Big. And money's tight. It's dire on both sides. So that's going to be a save call immediately from Immortals. And I see... Oh, it's only on my screen, so maybe I'm glitched. I thought I saw a timeout call coming in for the next round, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's true or not. I hold my tongue.
I don't think it's been called.
Okay, so I'm glitched.
A little bit.
Yeah, let's not go into my personal life too much.
4-2 now. It's going to be Immortals with the AWP. Bomb indeed will go off, and he doing what he can to hold on to it, but he's being hunted down. But Bolts, he's there to protect his brother, and will do what he can. Yeah. Oh, and Tabson chimes in. The AWP does get dropped. Okay, then. It's pretty harsh reset for the CT side. 5-4, Big. Managed to go outside once again. A slow, methodical play style. That's it. I really do think it suits them as a team, this map. I feel like it should work out, right? They love smoke grenades, the Molotovs, the flashbangs working as a unit, and it's got B to find the first few frags here as well. He really has shown some decent form in the last month or so. See if we continue it here. Almost a guaranteed round for Big. I said that was bated breath. Nothing really is guaranteed in this game. As the ammos we're talking about, the pistols, a bit of a nuisance sometimes, but this time Kiev towards the main entrance. Pins heading to the wall, 5-on-4, just like that.
Shot to start it off. Oh, it's in the boost yet to look back toward the Ivy position. Ivy, by the way, I was about to say, hasn't been as much of a factor in this game as what we normally see on Train. Lucas has even pushed it this round undetected. It's not been a point of contention. seems like a lot of the early rounds when we are casting train, when we're observing it, it's, you know,
Yeah.
10, 15 seconds of Ivy control.
No, absolutely, you're right. Most is just big, just saying, do the same tactic over and over again. His outside execution's working for them. Bleed out the CT utility at the very start, hold up, show a little bit of presence towards inside so the AWP can't be established in Brown Hills. Once he's gone, back to the outside setup, deploy the smokes. Managing to find opening kills. Players like GodB, once the bomb's planted, they're operating very efficiently. This round, nothing to be excited about. It's up against just pistols here. It was Kiev, very good spawn. Went towards main entrance and took down the first player, crossing over to pop those. He's all 5 alive. That's great news. And after that, Kiev's only got 4 kills, but he has got $12,000. He has got that working in his favor. Round number 11 now. We're all tied up once again. 5-5. This time, much better, I have to say, for Big. T-sides have been poor, and it has to be another eco for Immortals. Finding himself in financial ruin, it seems. HE grenades being purchased, very common strategy on a CD-sided train. You throw those HE grenades towards main entrance. Bit of an airstrike, especially in players like Kiev, trying to get that first pick, trying to take him out of the equation very early on. If you get the AWP and somehow recover it, that could be something quite interesting. It's Steel and Curry to go throw their grenades. They do go in, but nothing really inflicted at all. There it is, a bit of damage has happened.
Kiev walks back through, gets the AWP low pop dog. He's been entering from that position on a few occasions. It's not often you'll see an AWP take that angle. It's aggressive, it's tight, it's narrow. It's a hard choke point to work from, but he's made it work. He's gotten the pick, and Nexon taps and capitalize. It's just pistols for Immortals, and as such, there's not really much they're going to be able to do. Big's going to take a lead 6-5. Weird to say this, considering how the group stages went, but the first lead they're going to have on a T side this whole series. At least once we're into the established money, because of course the first map they did win the eco and get a 3-1, but look, let's not get technical, Henry.
Okay. We try and avoid being technically honest.
Exactly.
Keep it light.
It's overrated.
Yeah. Well, another eco, nothing really to report back to you in terms of the analysis side of things. But we do get money once again for Immortals into the next round. GodB finds the final frag, 5 players alive. I guess that is quite a big note. Kiev's just hit $16,000, or just shy of it. That's the most you can have in Counter-Strike for anyone. Maybe a new viewer. That's where you want to be, ideally. Kiev, with the most money he possibly can get. Buys a few more grenades, takes himself down to 15k. Henny buys the AWP once again. We haven't had many pauses here. I think this is the first one. It is indeed.
First for Immortals, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Big has not used one yet either, so.
No, I don't think they have.
I say if this goes to overtime, I'm going to call it now. We have to play with knives only.
Yeah, why not? They seem very well versed with the knife. So maybe Zeus's?
I knew you were going to say it. It's weird.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we haven't had a taser kill.
We have, I don't think this major. I don't think we've had a taser kill. Hate to see that.
The whole major. Wow. Yeah. Usually you get at least one cheeky one in there.
Yeah. Please buff.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, let's make the range like, 40 feet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill you, it just locks you in position while you flail on the ground. And then.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
I like it.
Valve's here, Henry.
6-5. Double AWP setup going out once again. There is a diffuse kit available, but lack of utility. These AWPs, I was excited about it, wasn't I? But hasn't really delivered so far. It will be KNG getting the majority of frags from the M4A4. Henny, another quiet game, 5 for 7 for him. Number 12, Big with the lead, looking to extend that, but this time maybe focusing towards inside. This is a different setup. Holding towards the lower round, that's Bolt. He's pushing through aggressively, needs to be very careful here. Bullets flying around, and Tapson takes him down. That might be the commitment. If you know how Immortals play, you know they're usually anchoring one player towards that side of the map. That was indeed the case, but Henny, he rotates in before any sort of commitment comes through. Big aren't the sort of team to commit of one kill. Immortals certainly are. They love that. They get one kill, they'll be getting 5-man unit rushing through. Big like to have the mind games in place and wait for the reactions and see if there's any utility, get another read, go for full execution still. Two very different approaches when it comes to Counter-Strike. But for now, it's working very nicely for Big after going 0-3 down. And 6 gun rounds there. So 25 seconds remaining. I think the inside player for the first time is coming in.
Sean Henny to finally gee up, but they go. Henny with the rotation, remember, brings it even, and KNG, the second AWP, also in the sight. It's all ops. As Kiev tops onto KNG, it's all next to try and get it followed up. Bomb plant to come in. Tabson's got himself in a very good position as they work through the smoke, or does he? Because Lucas spots him first, and he makes the follow-up play. It's down to Kiev to hold it off, 1 versus 2. And around where Immortals lost the first pick and the site, no kits or armor. I take back, sorry, there is armor, but no kits on the Immortals players. Part of my screen cut it off, but Kiev's got to be very careful. Time is a factor, but they're getting so close. He's on the AWP as well. Realizes it late that they're close. Good shot, but not fast enough. An ample opportunity for Steel to get the defuse.
Nice play from Immortals, quite calm. Like we said, time ticking away with no kit there. That'll be a very comfortable defuse, sticking together. They know Kiev's the AWP right. As soon as he fires a bullet, that's when you punish him. Silent up until the bomb site itself. And he got very close, and Kiev knew that was a possibility. He's like, hang on, this isn't right. Why is there no sound? Why are they not coming for me? Checks it out, hits the no-scope. But that's all he can do. Impossible to get the second frag. Decent attempt. They took 4 players down. Or I should say, Big Side did. And they'll keep Immortals modest there, and even more so. Have a look at this buy. They've lost that double AWP potential. It's now down to double UMPs. Not as tantalizing. A couple of M4s in the mix as well. KNG this time the AWP. We were saying that he needs to be the main AWP. In current form, you need to swallow your pride a little bit to say, look, you're playing better than me right now. Let's see what we've got. They'll be playing towards outside, and Big no, they win this round. This could be a landslide half, 9-6. On the T side of train would be fantastic for them. They have no money left, Immortals, to work with. This is huge.
And Goppy down to pop together. Please move next, Goppy. Get out of my way.
It's all very quiet here. This is outside play once again. The first time you've seen him go in, it was the previous round. Didn't work for him. It's probably going to say, you know what? It's not for us. Stick to outside bomb side. That's where the real teams get the rounds won.
It is very quiet here, Henry. You're right.
Yeah, I meant more on the server.
I knew what you meant.
But it is quiet here. It's nice. It's relaxing.
I always wanted a big room this big just to sit in silence.
You've stopped sweating.
It's true. It was all the body heat. We've solved it. That's why, actually, they were removed by request of me. Flash getting ready to go through smoke. And he's gotten up reverse side of the box on entry, which is actually a good position with the smoke down, but he has to be cautious of A main. Steel's going to have to relay that information. That's why it's a good position. And he backs off, finds 2, but Steel follows. He can't complete the same task, I should say. Lucas with a good shot in return. However, they've got to be careful because they've lost another man going to the site. Next is found. And KNG's AWP does a fantastic shot. Good work. And you said 9-6 could be possible. Well, Immortals have taken back the lead and avoided the reset.
Yeah, that's a much-needed round for them on the CT side of train, especially. That would have been a full reset in terms of you'd have to normally double eco, but the closing sector the first half, you have to force around it, you're almost guaranteeing the big 9-6, but shutting it down there.
It's bizarre as well to see a team be up around 16K and not leading the half by a big amount.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 7-6 for Immortals, and all it has to do with is the fact that there was 2 very close rounds on defuses in a slew of 3 rounds, then the 2 defuses, and then another 3 that they were so efficient in.
Yeah, Big has certainly been controlling the economy. You have to remember as well, Immortals have got that 3-0 start. Doesn't necessarily carry on to the mid stages of the half. Tactical timeout now for Big, a chance for the coach to chime in. Gobi to consider his options. Defaults have been great, but it seems like Immortals now playing in front of the smokes and challenging a little bit more actively now. KNG, like we said, seems to be on the main AWP responsibility at this point. And he has a secondary AWP, but it hasn't been as exciting as I thought it would. Or maybe I built it up too much. I thought it was going to be amazing performances and 6 shots left, right, and center, and shutting everyone down. But simply this slow, methodical playstyle from Big. All the smoke use has left them a little bit vulnerable. We're pushing towards Ivy this time. The first real CT aggression coming in, but it's up to Henny to play in front of the fire up a ramp as well. Sticking around, hoping to get something done here.
Molotov again towards Sandwich. Commonly Molotov spot in the entire map as there's enough of a sliver gap beside it for Tabsy to push through, but Bolts is able to control. Maybe go 9-6 the other way if we're not careful. Yeah, good response. Again, continues to be a force to be reckoned with in this whole entire series. He sits 11-7, highest on the team again. Bomb planted as KNG is going to rotate around to find a better angle. There's no availability of sight from Old Bomb due to the smokes. Good read from Kiev. Great shot up close to catch Lucas on the flank.
3-on-2 now, Kiev. Nice shot after KNG and Henny. This double AWP setup on the retake. It's not ideal, I'll tell you that for nothing. For KNG, he does find an AK-47 on the floor. He's already legged up next. Finds the kill, converts it quite nicely. Terrorist without any utility, but Kiev don't care. Second frag of the round, up to Henny with no kip. He surely can't do this. Time ticking away, has to be defusing now. It's not gonna happen. And that's money in the bin once again for Immortals. Rough time here, he will save the NWP, but Kiev stepping up. The gear with 2 frags as well, just to note that the CDs just didn't have the kits to work with. Might not survive this. Lex Kiev dancing around and getting towards the pop dog. He will just about survive, but he can't drop anything. His teammates desperate for cash as well. Lucas down to $4,000. Looking to win the half is big and booked himself a place in the semi-finals. Wasn't looking too great at the start, but they pulled it back. The gear with some nice shots there. It's quite crispy from him.
Crispy.
Yeah, I guess the double frag.
He's been looking very, very good, I have to say, in a big game.
Don't punch anything.
Lucas,
Please.
now.
Already had that.
One mouse between the two of you, that's all that there is left.
Yeah.
Don't relive your childhood together. Sharing is caring. AWP though for the Henny, there's his new name, carried over, and the force, subsequent force around it. Slow play from Big again to start it off, minute 20 as they start to establish a little bit of control using flashes through the window toward the outer site. Down toward B, Gob, named after it, will go. Next. Quick shot toward backtracks, wrap around potential to a B hit. It looks to be the case. Tapson's one against Lucas. 3 players coming for the wrap. Not on the entry. Normally you see less players on the wrap itself, but they have to win it against Henny. And the AWP that's saved and carried over has done a massive amount of work because Gompy's going aggressive for the fight, not going for the plant. He's stuck in the open, and they work. Henny completely thwarts the chance for the wrap.
So both times they try to go inside, it gets shut down there. It's the AWP. This is the backtrack split.
Backbeat orders on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
Yeah, that's good. Bit of Oasis. No problem there. I like that. Anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Backtracks on towards the inside bomb side there. Yeah, that's normally a really important tactic, and not one I don't think we see too much. I'd like to see it coming a lot more, but it was well read by the Immortals guys. All shots close range in CT spawn. Henny shuts them down. So yeah, that's to note. Both chances to go towards that inner bomb side shut down. Big having a lot of success towards outer, but ultimately losing the half here. And we'll get into the second half pistol buy. Both teams going to be okay with that half. Nothing too crazy, but they'll be fine with it. Immortals with 1 smoke, a couple of flashbangs, actually 1 flashbang and a decoy. Pretty similar story for Big. It's Legia with the kid and flashbangs, and we'll see where they decide to go. A lot of teams do favour towards that inside side, but KNG's getting aggressive, so is Lucas. They find the first 2 kills. Keep chimes in though.
Legia needs to step up and be well positioned. If Immortals pick up a second pistol, it's all pressure on the German side as they'll get inches closer to a semi-final. Keeps going back toward hell position. Legia is still inside of Z. Bomb's not committed. Lucas is the one to hold it. Tapson will have no chance to flank because they're watching Pop Dog. Bolts winning on Kiev means Tapson has to get to the site now. He has a kit but no armor, and he's being chased down effectively as well. It's all onto Tapson. Looks for the second drop. Bomb drop. He's stuck in the open. He's got the third, but he didn't have the time. A step further, and he may have been able to find Bolts as well.
He's been pretty absent the last couple of maps, but Tapson there with some signs of greatness. That could have been phenomenal. If he pulls that round off, yeah, the Big probably fired up enough to actually just take the game at that point. That would have been so sick. It looked like a very easy round for Immortals until this point. Tapson went 0-14 in the first half of Inferno, but they do manage to win the pistol Immortals, and he's not happy, is he?
He's so consistent on pistols, but you could sense the desperation starting to hit now for Big.
Yeah.
Remember how dejected Immortals looked at the start of map 2?
Exactly.
Well, they recovered, and now it's Big that just looks very frustrated, almost too urgent, which could perhaps bleed into their playstyle if they start to get too frantic.
Well, they will force buy into this second round here. Big with the Scout, Deagles, CZs. Certainly work out. The gear on the Scout. He has been in AWPA at some points in his career. We'll see whether he can step up with a Scout here. Usually, to be fair, every time I've casted him, he seems to be the dedicated Scout player that is a role. We get to round number 17. AKs, 3 of those. Pretty strong buy for Immortals in that sense. 1 Scout for them as well. It's in the hands of Henny. And some wallbang damage trying to come in from Legia as he spams up, but doesn't land anything just yet, but getting some confrontation now.
Bolts does win out against Next. Great shot, Tabson. Bomb drop, 49 seconds. He's going to have to be careful because if he pursues onto Henny, the rotations are coming back into the site. Kiev still wins against KNG, however, Tabson stayed alive. Somehow he stayed alive. He was saved by Kiev getting KNG on the arrival. Henny thinks about planting the bomb. Tabson wants to get closer as a result. Legia, he's got this down to just Henny remaining. That's one way to steal the Thunder back, and they make it work, Legia, with the scout.
He's called him out, said he could step up with that weapon, gets 2 kills of it. Tagging players up left, right, and center. The pistol's helping him out as well, but that's a bit of a blunder from Immortals after having such a successful round there. He went in for the 3 AK-47s, which means you have less utility, less smoke, less Molotovs. You have to take the jewels and go up against that scout. Down the lower ramp, you can see Legia's got nothing in front of him. Where are the smoke grenades? Why is he not being flashed at this point? Just a shooting gallery, and he has had some very good rounds. Probably the map of his career at the major in the quarterfinal on Cobblestone.
It still means everything this game. The emotions are very, very high. Steel's gone quick. He could actually get a kill here. I don't think they're aware that he's this deep in the site. So he's actually being smart about posting up and holding the angle.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's going to be a fast-paced round. They've already got out of the main entrance. Legia looking to fight back with the UMP. Spots one, can't connect the shots just yet, but that one does. Takes Lucas down to 5 HP. It's not going to be planted just yet. It's Key takes down KNG. Got beat down in as well. It's a tight round for them. This is a forced buy, but Immortals can't find any frags just yet.
None as of yet. Bolts very low. Oh, we
Another
get
one.
number, what is that, 6? I can't keep track.
6.
Bolts went for it. Honor was there. They knew what they were up to. This is getting personal.
7.
We got 7. Tabson gets Bolts. This is out of hand. And look at Tabson. Yeah. I think they're actually joking with each other because he goes to taunt, and I think that Immortals looked back over and smiled back.
Oh dear.
The first one was like, no, I'm not. You're not knifing me. I'm knifing you. And then Works, watch this. Tabson out of nowhere. He's not even anywhere nearby at this point. He's like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. This is unreal.
7 in 1 series. Kiev not enjoying himself just yet. There's a little panic there, but Tabson, that's a more jovial face. We like that. Getting fired up now. They tied things up at 9-9. Has to be the eco for Immortals. Big or aware. And they'll be playing with the SMGs. 3 of those out. A couple of AKs as well. Very handy to have those on the CT side for sure. Kiev now doing some shots through the smoke. Taking Steel and Henny down to about 37 HP each.
What a brawl this is becoming. With knives like that, you can tell they absolutely are sending a message. It's not, this isn't even about, obviously it's about winning if you boil it down, but there's so much more on the line for these two teams right now. The emotions, the fact that it got dirty real quick. And no knife, of all these ones, more significant than Kiev in overtime, and that has set the tempo. Tabson dinked up, has to be careful as he holds the corner. Doesn't drop the bomb early, but now it's Goppy to run it behind them. He just runs and guns. And he'll get it done. Tabson's able to find a kill as well on the Deagle as they push beyond. 9-9, and Bolts in a 1 versus 5. Chance to catch off Goppy, manages successfully to do so.
Yeah, nothing too exciting here, but Bolts gets 1 kill. That's something. Probably doesn't get the plant here considering the bomb's location. Just trying to bait out that he might have gone down towards top of there, but he'll be dealt with by Kiev. Long range with the MP9, takes the kill. Something to get established now. The CT's probably, I would say in this sort of game, I'm like, screw the money. I'm not taking MP9s through to the next round. I'm not, maybe even UMP, I'd get rid of one of those. I just want to be posting around victories, and Kiev certainly buys the AWP. This is good news for the reasons I just stated. So we'll keep 2 SMGs. The UMPs are fine on train, lots of close range encounters, but the MP9 had to go for sure. 2 AKs, definitely worthwhile having those up and collecting them from the T's. Can hold more aggressive angles, go for the 1-taps, as opposed to the M401. Go to number 20 now. Big with the lead, 10-9. Warp out, single orb setup in the hands of Kiev. They usually run a single orb setup. Legia can orb as well, but it's quite rare to see them actually run with it at all.
Shot in. Kiev nearly hit, down to 15. Be very careful, all things considered. Oh, it's all back out toward A main. Flash as well, but Henny's preset and ready. There will be no turning away, no cowering in fear, just a straight shot. A flash of lightning. Keeve on 15 becomes a factor in this as well. Keep in mind on the AWP. Tapson's the only one of the B site. If ever a time to be brilliant. He does lead the way again with 16 kills. He's back up to the top of the leaderboard. Good find by Keeve to get Lucas. There's the lurk. He wanted to go in. 2 players only toward B. Tapson's already got the first. There's 2 players only left, I should say. And he's still got position. He's got down steal. He knows there's a third, but he doesn't know where he's gone. And he's realized with the Molotov in play, he's wrapped around, and Bolts is suddenly left alone. All battles won by Big, and Tapson steps up perfectly in the B site.
Yeah, that's what the power of the AK-47 can do. Close range, one-tapping everyone, finding the shots. Good mobility as well from Tapson. As we mentioned, he was on 0 and 14 at one point in Inferno. We thought his series was done. He wouldn't be able to recover, but he's finding form, and he's top fragging once again where he belongs, at the top of the scoreboard for Big. 11-9, has to be another eco now. Lost bonus starting to get there. 4th stage for now, but that only gets you $2,900. No bomb going down. They'd have to take the Eagles PT-50s and a Tech 9. Steel's got some head armor. Must have had a little bit more cash. He actually didn't. There's no real reason to spend an extra $1,000, but he's opted for it. No nades. 1 set of armor and the bomb on the back of Henny. CT's lying in wait as Immortals get ready to go in now.
Bolts gets found trying to work his way in toward the A site silently. Lucas tries to walk in and catch them all, but taps it again, able to spray down 2, and Tapson will try and push up to get Kenny, but he fakes out the bomb point, even with the low HP. Tapson still prevails. Another 3 kills, stretching his lead now, stretching his legs, you could say. 12-9, Big in control.
Certainly are. Looking very good right now. Tapson especially. It's great to see him finding form once again. Immortals have to answer back to this. Closing sectors now of this game. If you're just joining us, you've missed 2 very interesting maps. I was about to say exciting. Inferno potentially not so much, but Cobblestone certainly was. After going down 12-3, Big recovered, taking the game in overtime. Immortals adjusted themselves. And as we went to Inferno, we didn't think they stood a chance. That's the only map Big had really played in this tournament. 3-0, taking down the names of SK Gaming, FaZe, Cloud9, some of the best teams in the world. And no one could touch them on Inferno, but Immortals did it. A clean performance when they won 16-6. Here we are on train. I wasn't sure what to expect. Look, he has enjoyed himself. As we enter this round, double orb set up again, but on the T side. Virtus.pro run this sometimes. A few teams occasionally bring it out. Is this too much?
It's pressure applied early then. KNG gets to the corner, scopes in, I think, yeah. Tapson heard that, so he says, forget it. I'm not going to challenge. Here's a smoke. Bomb back toward T-spawn, by the way. And we are starting to see some play at Ivy. We have not seen it hardly at all. Lagia in behind the server as Lucas and Henny. Pop flash goes light, and he jumps across on his own afterwards. He is calling it because he heard utility and he's saying, all right, definitely for once we've got a battle here, so give me some help. This Molotov is to bait him in. They want, by next throwing that, he is probably the one that actually called for this. He says, throw that behind me so they can't rush through, and then they won't expect me to be in the corner. So this is actually quite clever if it works. He goes wide, he goes early. They miss his shot, he's got a Molotov down deep, and next follows it up, but man, oh man, Henny comes close to death. 14 HP inside the site. Meanwhile, he gets Bolts. KNG can't follow up the double up setup, not paying dividends yet, but they still have the man advantage. Looking for more as well. Tapson sitting behind the bomb train. Bomb's gonna go back around though. Henny, he's gonna bring it toward A main, so they'll all attack from the front side. Miss shot, Keeve, 1 HP, and still goes aggressive, but can't make it work. Tapson has to be the hero once more.
Yeah, there was a man to step up. Here he comes. There's one shot, but that's all he's got. Henny takes him down. It could have got problematic there with Henny low HP as well. I thought there was a chance. Time was ticking away. I had no idea as to where he was, but there it is. Immortals pick up their first round in 6. Going to round number 23. Running not fantastic for the Immortals side. 2 players surviving there. Lose this round. It's 13-10 with a harsh reset as well. The reinvestment's coming through. 4 players at, okay, 3 players at $0. KNG's got about 1,000. Still 3,300. Single orb setup this time. Taps him. Looks like he wants to go aggressive towards inner potentially, yeah. He will indeed. This is an inside push. I'm loving this idea. Can't get the first frag though. It's a back and forth affair with Copy bringing it back to a 4-on-4.
4-on-4. 2 rounds separate. Kyiv is watching toward Ivy. Yeah. Oh, checks it. Gets the damage in, but doesn't get the kill, which he may be lamenting. Instead of resting upon his laurels over toward Popdog, he goes back toward A-Main as they flash out. He's ready for it. He knows the flash means a peek is likely coming. Finds KNG. As next to hold the alternate angle, and they have no idea. Henny just walks into it. Now Legia can get aggressive. Oh, and thank you very much. I see the bomb, boys. How shall I choose to take down my next target? As he hears Lucas jumping around, and over top of the dumpster, he'll be buried inside of it.
Yeah, that's all the Immortals can really do with this round. Trying to get some frags back in return, but a nice change of pace and everything. I'm liking that. The Bolts, let's get something here. 45 seconds to work with now. At least the bomb's recoverable. But Nex and Kyiv, they patrol the outside bomb side. God B, similar story towards Inner. Bolts with 22 HP shouldn't be able to win this. It should be almost impossible. Like, this is like 5% chance, if that. He can pull this one off. Godby will find him, easy shot through. That's real problematic now for Immortals. The fact of the matter is, Matt, they win the previous round, bomb doesn't go down here, and they get $1,400 per player. They're going to have to force into it, I think. Hope for the best. This is pretty much the do or die moment. Lose this, you're 14-10 down, your money's not established, you're done for. It's up to Steel and his AK-47. We saw similar heroic plays from Na'Vi on this very map from a young man called Simple.
Yes, we certainly did. A young man who had a 1.4 rating and didn't make it through the groups. Steel, good start. That's the AK. Godby is the one he finds. Flash in, Tapson has to back away. Can't be as quick to try and capitalize, and he's got to be very careful when he does, because Bolts is much closer than he anticipated. He gives up his rifle, so now not only do they have the AK, they have an M4 picked up, and they're a man down.
No one inside whatsoever. That site is open. Kyiv has to rotate in. He's late. He doesn't know. Has anyone slipped through? Have they gone through upper? Maybe made it to the site already. Are they pushing towards me? It seems quiet, which it is. Legia towards the Popdog. He's going to be key in this situation. Next goes to push inside from what I can see. So it's up to Legia now to hold strong at that Popdog position. He's patrolling the entire outside bomb site alone. No idea what's coming through CD spawn. So many gambles being taken right now.
Found Henny with the drop down. Tech9 wins the exchange. There's only 2 left now for Big. They can't afford to throw away this lead. Another change of heart. He does at least pick up Henny on the entrance, but Bomb's already bypassed him and gone toward position where Bolts can plant safely inside of the train. Next gets closer and closer, but stops up, and that means they know likely what he's up to, but still he finds Bolts retreating.
Oh, KNG.
This is even better. Knife number 8, don't you dare. Just get it. You see them both. Just get it and take them. Why do you have to make it wait so long? He does eventually get it on the Tech9 and pulls Kyiv back, who goes to the AK, spots up both players, but Steel's got the angle and a win with the 1 AK for Immortals.
Of course. Of course it happens. 4 pistols, 1 AK-47. Steel has to step up. He only gets 2 frags, sure, but he brings in the 5-on-4. He makes things uncomfortable. And at that point, Tapson tries to step up. We know Counter-Strike. It's a reaction-based game. If you lose the first pick, someone needs to go and get it in return. You can't allow Immortals to have that much freedom. Tapson pushed the lower ramp. Couldn't get anything for it. Dropped. 5-on-3. And Kyiv with a decent attempt there, but couldn't win the round. Legia had to step up towards that Popdog run. We said he was key. Pivotal position. Didn't work out for him. It's round number 25. Faster paced play, and we now have money for Immortals again. Molotov's deployed, and KNG back on the AK-47 as Henny trying to open things up with the AWP.
Well placed from KNG on the AK-47. Proficient with both weapons, it appears, as we know, as he's slotted into the role of rifle. Molotov back down toward him, and they're going to potentially push through it. Damage taken by KNG, but not a significant amount. Instead, though, watch in front of E-Box. Scobby changes his position and almost catches Steel off. Not quite. Kyiv AWP, not fast enough to catch KNG jumping. Tapson versus 3. It's a man you'd want alive, but he's got to be quick. And very quick at that, because it's an M4. It doesn't have the one-shot potential. KNG low enough. He could potentially find him, though. But he doesn't have the kit.
Yeah. Looking pretty desperate for him at this point. Has to start hitting some very impressive shots. There's one. Now we've got a chance. 1v1. Has to rush him down. He's going to find him, but Henny's ready for it. Had to make so much noise there. Like we said, no kip. Pushes in. And now things starting to get a little bit more interesting. Immortals have clawed their way back into this. 2 rounds in a row. It's broken the money of Big. Do they take a pause here? Doesn't look like they decide they need it. Should be tied up at 13-13. CZs, P250s. 1 set of armor. That's for God B. An HE for Tabson, but very unlikely they do anything with this round. Tabson's just getting warmed up though. Like we said, 0-14 on Inferno. This time 25-16, turning his game around as we enter round number 26.
And he thought for sure the AWP was on the left of A main, which is why you get no kid. He has to get the kill early. He can't let it come down to a time-based one-on-one. Eve, aggressive. KNG, did he see the gun or not? Well, thanks very much for a misthrown Molotov. It won't matter. Cheeky. Whoa, from KNG. Looking to try and find Kiev, and now they're firing back.
They certainly are. Nex is down on 20 HP now. Not really much they can do with this situation. Just hold up and hope someone goes wild with a P250. As good as it's going to get. Very unlikely, especially if Immortals approach it in a calm and calculated manner like they are. Shouldn't be any issues there. Bit of CZ damage towards balls. That's about all they'll get though. Kiev now surely doesn't get a kill here. Does damage sure, but does get dealt with by Lucas.
Off the ladder they go. Next on 20, still finds a kill somehow against Steel. Lucas and Henny are able to get the response frags immediately, though. Bomb should go down. We tie ourselves 13-13. Lagia wants a say in the argument by flanking. But yeah, another large shout to be heard against 4 players, which quickly find him and sort the issue. Tie game. Immortals are accumulating money. Still a chance to break them back, but it's going to have to be, yeah, I was going to say a timeout call because it's going to have to be perfect from Big from here on out.
Makes sense. This is the 3rd and final map of the first major for either of these teams, right? This is all on the line. Semi-final, your first one as a challenger. But that's sick. That's unbelievable. Right, Big now lofts the lead and tabs in. Just trying to calm himself down. Get back in the zone. He's currently on 25 frags. Lucas 13. Orb does come out for Kiev once again, who's had some great impact, I have to say. The gear down to a Famus. No double orb set up on the Immortal side either. It's Henny. No weapon. Better game from him. 17 kills, 18 deaths. Same story for KNG as well. KNG went absolutely off on Cobblestone, I have to say, the first half. No kits, just to know, Matthew.
No, none.
Has been a problem the last few clutches.
Certainly in the one-on-one with Tabson it was. What amount of pressure these players must be feeling this far into a major. As you say, the new teams to even get into the legend spots. Smoke's down. Bomb is getting ready to go B. Tabson, oh, he might be sold on this. And put a smoke out lower. He's been proficient when they do head toward B, and he's up by himself, but only when he's anticipating it. Right now, he's far off where he's typically playing from, and they're going to go into the lower position. Kiev steps out. Oh, chance to hit them both. He gets tagged up. No kill comes in, and that could be a problem because it means Bomb goes down here shortly, surely, unless Tabson can do something of it. They've not gone for it yet. When they do, shot in, headshot, and follow-up. Tabson soloing the site as Nex hits a headshot onto Henny, and Bolts is found as well. Big never give up the lead. They keep it 14-13.
That's beautiful stuff from Tabson, as you were describing. He was the only player that can really do anything about that situation. They overlook the upper platform position. He walks in, helps himself to 2 kills. Next help him out at that point as well. As it'll be 14-13. You're absolutely right. They do not lose the lead here. It was quite a big one they had. The 3 rounds in a row for Immortals tied us up. Tabson saves the day once again. You can see what it means. He's fired up. He's loving it. And once again, we're down to pistols for Immortals. Sure, they haven't opened a couple of AKs, but still, with just a Tech 9 and KNG with Deagle, no armor. As Henny, though, to find the first frag once again. Now Jordan. Kiev.
Careful, boys. My God, he went back in the middle again when he was blinded. How to give away a lead early. Henny does very well to find the angle, but almost gifted more than he was potentially worth. They won with a single AK, an all double AK, and they have the first pick. This is a chance. Bit more tension at Ivy, but it still seems to be front of the site that gets most of the attention. Copy his reverse box. Pop Dog with Nex to hold off A main. He's gonna swing. He's gonna swing. Missed the shots. He couldn't afford to do so. Tech 9 wins it. M4 picked up. Lagia with 1. Backs away. Not normally on the AWP. He's going to need support because he's Taken down by Steel, who goes to the sandwich. Next spots it, but does nothing of it. Turns around and realizes he has company on both sides. We might have a tie game again.
Yeah, almost certainly at this point. It's up to Next. Tabson, though, and never say never when they're around. Tabson with one. Next chimes in as well, but it's not enough. 2 versus 1 situation. Tabson still can win this. Bomb down in his favor.
Oh my goodness. He could still win this. Goes aggressive on KNG, who fired with the Deagle. Smoke down. Gives a bit of room between the two of them. Bomb is behind Tabson, but he wants the information. He wants the peek, and he's going to best him with the AK. We get tied again, and money is a factor.
It is. You're absolutely right. Oh dear, for Big. Fully reset. They can just about buy into this, but pick your poison time. Do you force into this? Look to keep the lead. Or do you eco and allow Immortals to get map point first, and you're playing for overtime there. Tabson. So many great shots. What a performance he's had in this major so far. 2 versus 1 to finish things off. Gets the first kill, but can't finish the job. Money available certainly for Immortals here. But if they were to lose this, they'll be reset as well. You can see that. Khalil for KNG, Lucas, MB7. This is going to come right down to the wire. Overtime certainly possible here. That's if Big pick up the round. We'll see what happens.
If Big pick up the round, because if they lose it, they're
done as well.
Done.
Yeah.
Wow, what a back and forth brawl. What a series. And it's going the absolute distance. We are guaranteed 30 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
EWP for Henny. That's what started it last time, and he's going to go to the same position again. Do not enter. No one will. No one goes near it. Shot spotted. Bolts 2! He's got 2 already. Big problems for Big. Money the factor. Death's the cause.
Laguerre's got to react here now. He's pushed Ivy. He's going to go all the way on C-spawn. His teammates desperately trying to fight for their lives here. It's Tabson pushing inside, getting job done. He gets the headshot, but that's all he'll get. Now Laguerre in the 3 versus 1. This round was everything, and he can't find the shot. The low HP of Henny eludes him, and there it is. Series and semi-final point for the Brazilians. Money in turmoil now. $2,000 per player. They only get $1,900 per player in the round. This could be it. They're going to have to dig deep here. They did win a round before with 1 scout and pistols. That's what we're going to have this time again. It's Next on the scout. But they had a huge lead here. Big. This would be gutting for them. It would be so demoralizing to go out in this fashion.
What a turnaround for Henny. Up to 21 kills. The double AK AWP setup. He hits 2 early shots on the round that essentially breaks Big. He goes again. He's got copy. It's KNG this time, excuse me, but it's the early AWP. It's causing so much problems for Big.
Yeah, this is rough. Pistols to step up here. Taps for the 5-7. We'll watch him, but it's Laguerre that goes down first. A swift shot from the AK-47 and bolts. Next alone, essentially, on the outside bomb side. His teammates grouped up in the connector. They'll make their way out, but KNG's finding kills. This could be it. Low HP, but Next is fighting back.
Next is fighting back, but the flank is coming in. Lucas with 1 is on. The Tabson found by KNG. And it's only Kiev. The German swan song. The Cinderella story. The unexpected appearance, and it's Immortals that might be the ones to take them down. Kiev does at least spot up 1 more. He's taking the shots right away. Bolt pops out, and we've got 5 Brazilians in this tournament. It's not SK, it's Immortals.
Oh, you can see what it means to them as well. What a great series map. Back and forth for sure. Wasn't clear who's going to take that final map. They're fired up. It was a fantastic series generally. Ups and downs for both teams. We had some shocking performances, some amazing ones, and can't get over the finish line there. It's Big who have to go home at this time. And unfortunately, with that huge lead they had in the second half, couldn't convert it to a victory.
2 or 3 very key moments and clutches that went against them, and the money just fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, through the booth, by the way, I can hear Immortals screaming. This means so much to them. Finally, they're in a major. They're in a semi-final on the side of the bracket that has North and Virtus Pro, who have had their struggles in the past. Yeah. There's a real chance they can make it to the final.
Absolutely. They could do this. And the only Brazilian team left. But Matthew, it's been a pleasure. It's a shame we didn't get the crowd roaring for this one, but I've enjoyed my time with you. Paul, over to you to finish off the show.
Yes, thanks, Henry. Thanks, Sadakist. Great commentary late into the night here. It is nearly 1 a.m. here in Poland, so we're going to wrap up relatively quickly on a great day of quarterfinals. The Immortals are through to the semi-finals. What a great achievement for the qualifying team. They struggled to get here in the first place, and then when they do, they get absolutely mental and raise to the last 4. Isn't the 5 Brazilians that we expected in the semi-finals, but they've got 5 men to cheer for.
Yeah, it's not, but it's certainly a very exciting 5 Brazilians that we have. I mean, KNG I thought was spectacular. He was so much fun to watch across this whole series. Henny, obviously, we know him, but and getting fired up in the booth.
Yeah,
still showing some life.
Showing some life.
It's lovely.
Like
I like some fire.
Just before we close in on Immortals, let's just reflect back on the road for Big as well. It's been a great run for them. It's come to a sad end for them. I feel particularly sad for Tabson, who's dropped to 31 in the last game. He had a 1-1, a 1v1 at 14 all. That if he wins, it goes the other way in this game. So close and yet so far, but what an amazing achievement to finish top 8.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the reset, after having a rough map, he definitely could do that reset.
Didn't he just?
Yeah. Kind of ironic that they eventually lost Inferno in this series, having gone through 3-0 on Inferno through the groups. But yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of promise for this team. Individually speaking, I think they exceeded a lot of expectations for all of us on this table right now. Next had a great tournament. Tabson obviously had a phenomenal tournament. Key showing up and the Joker factor of apparently having some great games here and there too. That'll help, obviously. They have so diverse way of approaching this game, and they're so good at adapting most of the time. But it's these close little battles that they just haven't been able to come out on top against a team like Immortals, who are really good at taking the brawl. Very simplistic style in the sense of they did a lot of the stuff I was talking about before the game as well. They'll just Henny or steal sometimes, just going for that cheeky peek from team middle. They get them at advantage, so they group up with 1-3-1 a lot of the time, and they just ambush at the outer bomb side and then make sure they're trading effectively, so they'll have the man advantage come after plan situation.
It just felt to me a little bit that Big got caught up in like the Immortal style of play, like that emotional swing, right, where you're cheering after everything and you're yelling at your opponent. We haven't seen Big do that in this event going on. I mean, they have their own like emotional issues within the team, but I mean, when you see some of the swings that they won throughout the clutches, either winning or losing them, I think that's Immortals game. That's what that's how they want the game to be, and I don't think Big. I think that got them out of their comfort zone a little bit.
A few final words on Immortals, Natu. It's a terrific achievement for these boys.
Yeah.
They've hungered after these majors to prove that they can play with the best in the world. They've won tournaments outside of the majors, but this is where it really counts, and they've come up big.
And they are ironing out their issues, bit by bit all the time in the tournament. I feel like they are having a good time in terms of putting together the situations where they usually kind of got off guard. Maybe they got a little too much ahead of themselves. Now they utilize the time in the after plan situations, the extra 10 seconds you have, you see them actually think things through in those kind of situations. So if they can keep up that composure, keep their emotions in check, you never know where the storyline might take them.
On the other hand, I feel like at the start of the second map, they kind of lost it a little bit, and they got a bit angry and a bit cross, and that somehow fired them up. So maybe they do need to lose it a bit more.
I think obviously losing the first map the way that it did is going to make you angry. I mean, you have to think this could have been a 2-0. This almost feels like it should have been to a certain degree a 2-0 for Immortals, because the Cobble was just so dominant. They just lost track of that T side, obviously. But I mean, you have that kind of a break, and you just come in and you stomp Inferno, and you could just see that they weren't willing to let this one go. They were just going to fight for it the whole way.
All right, thank you very much, gents. We're going to wrap things up, and we are done for our first day inside the Toron Arena. We've got 2 more days to go. Tomorrow, we'll see the final quarter-final. Virtus Pro, the home team, in action against North, of course, and both semi-finals. We're down to just 5 teams tomorrow. We'll be down to 2. We'll see you then.